The movie kicks off with tension so thick you could slice it with a knife. Somewhere near the Colombian border, a beat-up transport truck creeps toward a checkpoint. Inside, a guy's glued to his phone, nervous, restless, like he's about to make the biggest move of his life. The truck finally stops in a dusty, isolated spot. The man steps out, pops open a massive wooden crate, and out comes Chris. Rough around the edges, eyes sharp like he's seen some dark things he doesn't talk about. You can tell this dude's been through hell and back. At first it looks like a friendly meetup, like he's linking up with his old crew, but nah, things flip fast. The same people he thought had his back turned on him. And suddenly Chris realizes this reunion was nothing but a setup.
You've already been paid. In full.
I want everything.
The tables, dropping both traitors before they even know what hit them. No wasted moves, no hesitation. He grabs his bag, dusts himself off, and walks away like nothing happened. Next thing we see, he's standing over a lonely grave. No music, no words, just pain in his eyes. It's his wife's tombstone. The man who just tore through armed killers now looks completely broken. You can feel the weight he's carrying. Then we jump to the other side of town, a whole different world. A mansion dripping in wealth. Alyssa, a young woman just back from school, steps out of her car and into her father's world, Vicente. Rich, powerful, and controlling to the bone. He greets her with a smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes. Snatches her phone, joking around, but also grilling her like an undercover cop. Who she talks to, where she goes. He's the kind of dad who calls it protection, but it feels more like surveillance. He insists she tags along to some fancy party, tells her to bring her friends like he's playing nice. But the tension's there, the control, the fear. Cut to a dark warehouse. Inside, a man they call El Corvo, a face carved up like a war zone, preps for something sinister. Later that night, he walks into a quiet cafe. Everyone freezes. The air shifts. He just sits there, silent, creepy as hell. When a waitress politely asks him to leave, he snaps, grabs her, slams her down, and forces her into this twisted little game. He makes her slice a piece of cake, eat it, all while he watches her like she's prey. Before it gets worse, cops storm in, guns out, yelling commands. For a second, it looks like it's over. One officer manages to calm him down, even gets the waitress out, but just when you think they're safe, El Corvo reappears, ambushes their car, and wipes them both out in cold blood. No mercy. The next day, Elisa's riding through the city in her luxury SUV, bodyguards posted up like it's just another normal day. A poor guy walks up to clean the windshield. Harmless, right? Nope. The beggar suddenly drops the act. It's Chris. In a flash, he takes down the guards with brutal efficiency and snatches Elisa. Throws her in the trunk. Gone in seconds. When Vicente finds out, he loses it. Beats the last surviving guard within an inch of his life and puts a massive bounty on Chris's head. The hunt begins. Meanwhile, Elisa's freaking out in the trunk. Kicking, screaming, trying to break free. Chris finally opens it, trying to calm her down, but she bolts into the woods. He chases her down, cornering her. And then he shows her something that changes everything. She doesn't buy it, and not yet, but with no one else to trust, she plays along, holding a gun on him the whole time. What she doesn't know? The gun's empty. Chris already pulled the bullets. When she finds out, she's furious, but it's too late. He takes it back without a fight. Their uneasy journey continues until the car sputters and dies, out of gas. Chris steps out to refuel, leaving her inside, and the second he's gone, she makes a break for it, sprinting down the road until she finds a group of young football players. Panicked, she yells that she's been kidnapped. They rush to protect her, standing between her and Chris. Chris steps closer, calm, but deadly serious. His voice cuts through the noise. Back off! You don't know what you're getting into.
Back off!
Chris tracks Elisa down before she can get too far, grabbing her arm and tying her hands. Not out of cruelty. She's starving. They pull over at a small roadside diner. It's quiet, almost peaceful, like the calm before a storm. As they eat, Chris opens up. He talks about the 15 years he spent behind bars, how Vicente, the man Elisa calls her father, set him up and destroyed his life. Before she can even process it all, headlights flood the diner windows. Doors slam. A group of armed men surrounds them, and just like that, chaos erupts. Chris moves like lightning, snapping bones, disarming guns, flipping tables into cover. One by one, the attackers fall, but amid the chaos, the gang's leader grabs Elisa and drags her away. Chris tries to reach her, but they're gone before he can react. Now, running on pure rage, Chris captures one of the wounded thugs. No hesitation, he tortures him for answers, demanding to know where they took her. The man cracks and gives up the location. Cut to a dark, filthy warehouse. Elisa's trapped again, but this time, it's worse. The gang's boss is a trafficker working under Vicente himself. He plans to trade her in for the bounty. As Elisa sits there, terrified but defiant, the trafficker makes a call to Vicente. She grabs the phone mid-conversation, confronting her father for the first time. Her voice is trembling but fierce. She demands to know the truth about her mom's death. Vicente plays innocent, voice calm, smooth, fake. He swears he loved her mother, but the moment Elisa mentions Chris claiming to be her real father, Vicente's mask cracks. His tone turns cold, his anger bleeding through. Meanwhile, his right-hand man quietly steps out and makes another call. To El Corvo. Moments later, the warehouse doors explode open. El Corvo walks in like a demon unleashed. No words, no hesitation. He slaughters everyone in his path. Bullets flying, bodies dropping. The floor turns into a massacre.
Hide there if you want to live. Come on, stay hueputa. Vamos.
By the time Chris gets there, it's already too late. The whole place is a war zone. Bodies everywhere. Blood on the walls, smoke still hanging in the air. You can almost feel the silent screaming. He moves through the wreckage, eyes sharp, pulse steady. And then he spots him. El Corvo? Standing there like a ghost from hell, drenched in red, calm as ever. No words, no threats. Just pure hate in their eyes. Then it happens. They clash. The warehouse owner tries to play hero, stepping up to stop El Corvo, but he doesn't even get a second chance. One swing, one shot, and he's gone. Just like that. In the chaos, Elisa spots Chris fighting his way in. She runs, and together they escape into the night. For the first time, there's a flicker of peace. Chris takes her to a small roadside store trying to give her a moment of normal life. New clothes, something clean, something calm. But normal doesn't last long. Sitting by the car, Elisa finally asks the question she's been holding in. Who are you really? Chris exhales, his voice low, heavy. He tells her everything. The truth that's been buried for years. He, Vicente, and her mother weren't just connected by love. They were partners in crime. A deadly trio of bank robbers who lived fast and dangerous. But when her mom got pregnant, Chris wanted out. He dreamed of a clean slate. Only Vicente didn't. That last job went sideways. Vicente betrayed him, turned him in, and watched as Chris spent 15 years rotting behind bars. Elisa just sits there, frozen. The truth hits her like a freight train. Her whole life built on lies. That night, Chris decides to end the cycle. He plans to take her across the U.S. border, start fresh, leave the violence behind, but Elisa's torn apart inside, confused, angry, and lost. She can't handle it. She jumps in the car and drives off, leaving Chris behind in the darkness. Moments later, she pulls over at a lonely Corvo. He's back, like death that refuses to stay buried. Just when he's about to strike, Chris shows up. Guns out. The fight explodes in a storm of bullets and broken glass, but Corvo's a monster. He gets the upper hand, grabs Elisa, and forces Chris to drop his weapon. Then he beats him senseless, leaving him broken and unconscious in the dirt. By morning, Vicente's men find Chris hanging from a tree. A cruel message from Corvo. Vicente cuts him down, but before anyone can speak, Corvo calls, his voice cold, demanding. If you want your daughter back, come get her. He names the place an abandoned industrial plant. Vicente snaps. He kills the traitorous aide who betrayed them and rides out with his crew, and Chris barely standing but ready for one last fight. When they reach the plant, it's like walking into hell. Corvo's already there and waiting. In seconds, the ambush hits. Bullets rip through the walls, men drop left and right. Corvo snatches Vicente, holding him at gunpoint. Meanwhile, Elisa's tied to a massive industrial blade, the machine roaring, the steel creeping closer to her neck. Chris storms in, blind with fury, not realizing it's a trap. Corvo taunts him, laughing. I'm sorry, he says, voice cold. You think they sent a killer? I enjoy this. Vicente screams for his men to save her.
I'm sorry. I need her.
think Vicente can learn her. I enjoy it.
But it's too late. The machine's spinning faster. Then Corvo drops the final bomb. The truth that shatters everything. He was the one who killed Elisa's mother, and he did it on Vicente's orders. The world stops. Chris's face twists in rage. Vicente freezes in guilt, and then all hell breaks loose. Chris goes berserk, trading blows with Corvo in a brutal, no-holds-barred brawl that shakes the factory to its core. Sparks fly, metal clangs, blood hits the floor. Elisa, trapped and terrified, sees her chance. Chris signals her, a tiny motion with his hand. She looks down at her mother's diamond necklace and understands. She rips it off and jams it into the machine's gears. The blade grinds to a stop, inches from her throat. Corvo turns, furious, ready to finish it. But Vicente charges in from behind, stabbing him straight through the torso. Corvo snarls, grabs Vicente by the collar, and in one final act of madness, drags him off the platform with him. The two crash into the abyss below, gone forever. Silence. When the smoke clears, Alisa stands at her mother's grave, the sun just breaking over the horizon. She places a single rose on the cold stone, her eyes filled with pain, truth, and the weight of everything she's learned. Chris steps up beside her wordless. He lays down his own flower, a quiet apology for the years lost. No more lies, no more running, just a broken father and his daughter, trying to start again.